Hello, Internet. Welcome back to Space Engineers. So, this week, we're going to space. Again, for real. We're going to be fitting jump drive to the scrap metal and then heading off for Mars. So, that's the plan. We'll see if anything distracts us from that on the way to said plan. So, oh, I forgot stuff bounced in here. So, where we are at, last time we mined all that gold, just still getting processed, turned into superconductor components. How many of those do I need? I should know this. 1,000. We have 88. 90 now. So that's going to take a while. Hopefully we have enough gold. I may have, spoken too soon on our plans for this week, because that may not be happening within time. But that's fun. I'm also monitoring. There was one of the assertive bases, kind of off that way, that I kind of want to take out if I'm going to be here for a while. I also realized, so we have this lovely, there's a crater there. We have this lovely base that we've built up, our nice little military outpost. The whole idea was that I was supposed to be building a settlement so that oh god. Oh, that'll get hopefully cut. Okay, take two. So, the whole idea of this was that I was going to be building a settlement for future colonists, in air quotes, to come, settle, and live. So, I think one thing I may do, somewhere around here, I'm going to build a little kind of bunkhouse, hotel, something or another, barracks building, where people could actually live. You know, people other than the one little room I built for myself. So, those are kind of some of the things I have in my brain at the moment. I can't remember. I thought I still had a working headhunter somewhere. I thought there was one still built. We've got the air hot dog, flying hot dog, which I think I fixed from when it exploded that one time. Looks relatively fixed. So I guess that's fine. Huh. Maybe I left it down at the fuel. Which... how do I best get there? Honestly, I can just fly there. It's not super far. Turn off our dampener, save some fuel. A handy little trick. So yeah, let's see. The benefit, I may be using hydrogen to get here. I can just top it off when I get there. And also turn off the drills, because they've been going for a while, I think. Okay, yeah, so it took... well, I have a bottle, so I'm probably fine. But it did take a bit. Drill is there. Yes, headhunter. Perfect. Let's go ahead and... well, how much... down chair. How much do we have in each tank here? Plenty, and it's still processing. So, from at least... okay, so there's a little bit of ice left. I could send it around for another go, but I really don't know, because the tanks on the scrap metal were pretty much, if I recall, they were 100% full, so they should be good. The most I want to do is top off a bit before I actually take off for real. for any planetary flying I was doing. But I really don't think I'm gonna need to pump these things full. So I think we're just gonna stop the drill. Drill off. Is there any other... I don't think there's any other thing I have to do. I guess I could turn off and lock the rotor, but I don't think that matters too much. So, yeah. That is that. We'll go ahead, pop open our helmet so we stop using power. Yeah. Now, does this have... No missiles left. I've got some gun ammo. So that should be good. We'll stop by the house first. And... away we go. So we'll see if we have any more rockets to put in it. I think I got a bunch of them somewhere at some point. I don't remember. So, load up with rockets. And then kind of head vaguely where that base, I think, was. If it's not visible. Okay, that's not it. There are a lot of things around me. So it gets kind of hard to keep track. Oh, yeah. So I think first order of business, we go a-fighting. Take out that base so that hopefully we don't get blown up a bunch by drones. And then we'll see where we are on the superconductor production. We've run out of parking spots. So we'll just put it down here. That'll be good enough. Do I have... No. I remember I'd put some missiles in the seat at one point to carry an extra load. So let's see... We'll go through this. Can never get into that bottom one conveniently. Okay, so we've got a few. We're pretty good on all that. I should have filled up my bottle while I was down there. I guess I can fill it up off the scrap metal. What is... Oh, that's an asteroid. I thought that was a very weirdly shaped ship. Okay. So I'll pop those in there. Dump these back into the container. Okay, so we've got 100 superconductor components in there. Got 49 in a connector, which is not a good place for them to be. That might be, for some reason, I think... I don't know exactly how Space Engineers sorts things. My guess is this connector, probably because it's at the top of the list. Oh, when you just... Well, no, because it was top of the list with superconductor components. I don't know. It just puts stuff in random places. Okay, so it looks like we've got about a little over 300 superconductors. We are still producing them, which is good. We've still got a ton of gold, so I think we'll be good. We just gotta let things process. And actually, okay, that base isn't there. Let's see. So one thing when I built this, I purposely left space back here to put upgrade modules. I wonder what you need for a speed module. Oh, not much at all. Power efficiency, power cells are kind of a thing. Yield is the one where you need superconductor components. I don't think I care too much about, the yield. I think we should have enough, you know, without improving the yield of our ore refining. I think we should have enough. So I think what I'll do... let's put... So, steel plates. We'll just get some steel. Is that all the steel? Oh, no. That might be the cargo and the scrap metal. Because they're all combined. Yeah, so... Go ahead. We'll get 2 there, and then I think we'll do 2 on this as well. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try... Let's learn things. Okay, so if I'm right... Control middle... Nope, that's build vision. Is it control right click? Yes. Okay, so I've added 4. Now if I do shift middle mouse... No. Shift middle mouse is the wrong thing to do. Oh god. Just end all these. Some of that stuff I think was queued up for the jump drive last episode, but we'll just figure that out. The main thing is the superconductor components and these gravity doodads. Okay. Right, so let's make sure... Oh, I've got all kinds of junk in here. So, 4 speed modules I want. Okay, so shift middle mouse is not... Let's do control middle mouse? Yes. And I can build. Unless I cannot. Okay. Does that mean I'm out of things, or... No, it meant my capacity was full? What is happening? So I'm attempting to use the build planner so that I can actually... Go away, build vision. Attempting to use the build planner so that I can do things more efficiently without having to open menus and whatnot. Which sounds nice. The issue is... I don't understand it. Yes, I've got a bunch of those, but for some reason it wants me to have a bunch of motors. Which I don't think I need anymore. Yeah. Okay. So I wonder what is it, what happens? Nope. Shift left click? Nope. Nope. Alt middle mouse. Okay. Alt middle mouse lets me deposit all the things, all the components. So, now, I clear my build planner. In theory, if I do not control middle mouse. Yes. 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 I think that will just queue up the parts I need to complete each one. I don't know that, I'm solely guessing. So now it's control middle mouse. No. Okay. We're going to skip the newfangled fancy way and just take a bunch of parts and stuff them in things, because as fun as it was, I do not feel that my work has been vastly sped up by trying to learn how to pull things out of a machine. So we needed those. I think we need some construction components still. Main thing's steel plate. Steel plate and steel plate. Okay. Away with you. No steel plate there. Okay. Okay. And okay. I could have, I guess, changed the color, but I kind of like the yellow. Yellow against the black. I mean, there's already so much yellow because it's on all the parts, so it works. Okay, and now to observe the fruits of our labor. So this thing, it's cranking out gold now. Yeah, in fact, uh, let's do gold. I want to stock it up on enough gold so that it doesn't switch to producing silver, because as much fun as silver is, I don't need any of it. Okay. So, that's doing much. I mean, it's not blisteringly fast, but it is faster than it was, which is nice. I think I can see. Yeah, we're now 300% productive and 300% productive, which I don't know is quite how percents work, but here we are. Okay. So that's handy. Stock up on that. And a nice thing, because if I'm right, we'll go down to the old basement. Yeah, we don't have a hydrogen tank or anything. It's just this generator, which is empty. So, normally I wouldn't be able to refill hydrogen, but because the scrap metal is all docked and linked up, I just get it from that. Oh, there's a big ol'... Oh, speaking of, this'll go... So there's a comment on a previous episode, talking about the surprising, surprising charm the scrap metal has, being a large chunk of ship I pulled out of the dirt. Uh, that over there in the distance, I believe, is what it used to be. So it is, part of one of the... I think it might be the default air traffic mod that uses the modular encounter spawner. So, it's in there. Yeah, can see... We'll just... Little quick aside, where on earth is this? Whew. My, speed that down a bit. Spectator cam zoomy. Yeah, so that's what it would have looked like if the front end weren't smashed into the dirt and if an entire engine pod weren't gone. And I guess I could, if I really wanted to, come up and try and take this one as well. Oh, the bow is pretty cool. I've never looked at... Again, a lot of this ship didn't exist in this way when I found mine. But I could take that, I guess, if I so chose, but honestly, fine. I don't really see a huge need. I can just do that. And see the ground hole. I don't really have a huge need for amassing a ton of ships. Because again, my plan, I think I have enough material here. My intent is to just blast off in this, go to Mars, and then do things on Mars. So once I get to Mars, I think piracy might be a good way to get materials quickly. But for here, it just seems like it'll be a waste of ammunition. Unless I'm doing things specifically to defend. Which, I think... So I've upgraded in there. I think it's time. Let's head off in the direction of that one base. And see if we can't find it and take it out. For an exciting little combat portion of the episode. So, as I recall, it was out this direction. I think I could see it from the iron hole. So actually, it's probably further out this way. Towards, that one base I never went to. Because I determined, through testing on my own outside of the game, that how I thought the safe zones worked are not how they work, and how they actually work is not really worth my time. There's something to the right, but I think that's that one base that we took out a while ago. I'm not seeing a signal. It should once I get in range. Even if it's not attacking the main base, I should be able to get in range of a signal before I'm visually on it. Well, yeah, there's not too much out here. Unless it's like way up in the mountain. Huh. Well. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. You can swing by that one. This little thing and just see what it is. And there it is, right in front of us. In fact, let's... Yeah, that's definitely a base. Can't tell... Again, slowing up. It doesn't look damaged. Which is mildly concerning, because it should be if it's one I've taken out. And I'm also not seeing a... Oh! No, there was briefly. Oh! And 2 drones. Okay. I now have confirmation that is a base. Come on, turrets. There we go. That's downed. Okay, let's try and get just within range. Actually. So if I come within there. Whoop. Taking pot shots, that should... Perfect. There goes that turret. So now I can get in. Actually, I could probably land. Yeah, no other drones. Let's go in. I don't know if I even brought a gun, so this may be a very poorly done commando raid. But I think 1 missile and some turret fire may have done me what I needed. Okay, there's a turret in there. We'll turn that off. We'll leave the guns on so they can defend me. Yeah. I do have my gun. Let's go ahead and just... Pop, pop, pop. Ooh, hardy thing, this. Okay. We aren't going to do that. We're going to use it to take out this instead. Because that, yeah, is much quicker. Out of curiosity, I've still got the old ammo. I can't remember from last episode if I made myself a new gun. This is again post the Engineer Warfare update. So, I'm not 100% sure what I've done and what's just carried over. Okay. There we go. So that's down. Guess we can hop in here. It's pretty well intact, except for this wall. Looks nice. Is there any good... excuse me. Any goodies in here? There's some ammo somewhere. Oh, in the turret. Doesn't look like there's anything else in any of the bits. We'll just... Oh, dang it. There's probably another turret on this thing. See if we can... Oh! Also, I have all kinds of thing, so... I'll just fix this. Take... not the ammo, because I can't take it. I think I may come back here and see if I can salvage this. Because, I mean, it feels sad to just kind of take something out and then not take all of its goodies for yourself. Uh-oh. None the wiser. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Get some good stuff, I'm sure. Okay. So... we'll just create unnamed GPS, and we will remember... Oh, that scouting outpost is quite nearby. Okay, so that is safe. Pretty good. Let's head back, and... I guess we'll fly... We could either fly the hot dog over... or we could just take the scrap metal. Now, honestly, I mean, the hot dog's fun and all, but honestly, I'd be more inclined, I think, to just take the scrap metal. Fuel is kind of an issue, but a solvable issue. If anything, I just create a filler episode where I go around shooting things while I wait for things to process in the background. Like, maybe, like, the last 8 episodes have been. So... yeah, and actually the scrap metal will be good. Because if something else spawns while I'm out there, it will be able to easily defend better than the hot dog does. Because it kind of... the turret helps, but it's not nearly as useful as an entire gunship covered in turrets that have a longer range. And also a ship that won't disintegrate once it's shot once. If nothing else, I just don't want to have to rebuild the hot dog for like a 7th time, so we'll just leave it here as a museum piece. Okay. So let's dump off our stuff. Which I can do with Alt Middle Mouse. That is a bit of a nice keybind just to get all the things out of you. Oh, I've reloaded. We'll go ahead. We don't need a gun. Okay. Oh, and actually, I should turn the lights off on this. Probably these as well. And those. I guess I just slapped this thing on here and went with it. Okay. So we've got our little spot. What I may do first, because that shouldn't be going anywhere, and I think I've got time to kill. I'm going to... first I should turn on all my engines so I don't fall. Then... retract that. And we're good. Real quick. So, you may notice, at the altitude for this, the scrap metal is off the ground. That is because this was the original stock that I locked it to so I could build it, rebuild it. And I wanted it above the ground so that I could get underneath and do things there. Well, now it is built. And I would really like it to not have to be so high up so that I could get on with my fancy elevator. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tear this whole tower down and rebuild a new tower with a piston. Ooh, and actually, I'll make this one a little more advanced. So, what I can do, I'll have this one on a piston so that it can go up to a height to lock to the side. I'll also have, instead of just an angled conveyor block, I'll have the actual connector attach on a hinge. I say that, I'm now creating just an entire mess of subgrids holding other subgrids, so this may be a horrible idea. But in theory, the scrap metal will be on the ground when it locks now, so it shouldn't have to support. But my idea is if I have a piston, if I have a connector that can be vertical as well as horizontal, then I could connect to the bottom of the scrap metal for quick unloads if I need to, or potentially another ship if I have to come back here in something that isn't scrap metal. So, that's the wrong button. And I can't even access. So difficult. Yeah, we don't need those. Okay. Let's go back here. Steel plate. So our piston. We'll put our hinge. We'll actually go ahead and lock it so that it doesn't flop. Though it doesn't really matter if it flops. And then that. Just take all of these things. That'll be good, I'm sure. Put some stuff in here. And really go. Some stuff in you. Stuff in there. And some in there just for good measure. Uh-oh. That's wrong. Come back, come back, please. Okay. Whoop doop. Apparently there was a slight bank. We're just gonna put you down. Okay. Glad I looked up. So I think what just happened, because the miner is back here, and Space Engineers isn't super great at determining subgrids and their weights in relation to the main grid, it caused the ship to yaw left, which, because the atmospherics are basically only down and some token side thrust to make me feel better, that basically equated to it yawing left and just going away. So, yeah. What was I doing? Yeah, I've got some steel. I said we didn't need to build steel. We actually might. Because we don't actually seem to have a ton. Though I think a lot of it was actually left on the scrap metal, which doesn't look comfortable. that position. I should have paid attention to the things I needed. Guess some of those. Some of these, I think computers were one. Which we don't have here, so... large steel tubes as well. In fact, it looks like it's just computers and large steel tubes. Okay. Those... Do we not have any computers? Oh, and I no longer have any hydrogen. Okay, well... All aboard. Go down and get some from in here. However I do that. There we go. Did kind of turn this thing into a maze a bit. Actually. Put it in tank 30. There we go. Wait a minute, that's the wrong button. There we go. Guess I just dumped it all into tank 30. That should be fine. So, computers. Ah, there they are. I figured we had to have some somewhere. And it seems to want to say there are some in here, but I do not see them. Unless I just wrote CO, which is pretty often the case. In which case it just container. So, whatever. That is built. It is the wrong color, which I will change. There we go. Okay, so now what I can do, hinge lock off, and we will roll it this away. And stop it rolling. Okay, so that's positive. So if I set this to 0, I can now roll it down or up vertical. Let's set it to 3. That way I can just reverse it. Pretty quick. So now, what we'll do, I'll go ahead and get scrap metal reparked.
Ship fuel low.
Oh, that's fine. Well, it doesn't have a ton of flight time. Granted, this is a lot of power draw. Operating only on atmospheric thrust. Okay. So get it aligned this way. It's not super flat. Also, what happened to the bow? It's all dinged in. Okay. Well, we'll put it there. We can see real quick. We'll just do it from outside. So if I reverse this, until it's in a good spot, which I should just be able to see, maybe. Okay. Nope. Okay. And we'll find out. Now, if I reverse this one up until it's at the right height, I could even deal with the excuse me. I could even deal with the angle issue by angling the connector. Dang it. Come back to me. Okay. Now we just go a little bit more. Yes. They aren't very close together, but it'll work. Okay. So now, the scrap metal is on the ground and redocked. Perfect. Just in time for me to take it off again, because that's what I came back here to do. Oh, yeah, I lost the nose completely. Oh, no, I didn't. It's just stuffed within itself. Dang. Must have hit something. Or just got shot at a bunch there. Take this. Try. Luckily, I mean, it doesn't really matter here because there's air in the air. But for space travel, luckily those lockers that are kind of in the front of the crew area, I think should also be airtight. So even if I lost the very nose of the ship, it shouldn't be depressurized. Okay. Seems to be all the ones that were damaged. Yep. So let's just pop us a new one of these on. And in keeping with the scrap metal tradition, it will be this color forever. Because I thought about, I feel like it should probably be repainted to make it look decent. But there's something nice about just kind of, some variety there. When these thrusters is red. There are some panels in various spots that are oddly colored. Oh no, I feel like it fits better to just color it with whatever, whatever I have at the time. Will make it look like a true pile of scrap, which is what it is. So, refill on that. And then head up to the bridge. Yeah, so now, if I retract that, 75% hydrogen fuel, we will go ahead and
Ship fuel
kick it all
low.
on. Yeah. Yeah, my
Ship
power,
fuel low.
even, using hydrogen is not great. I may want to look into, so I could add more batteries and try and recharge it off of a big wind panel. That might be the best way. I could also, so I have a reactor on here, but you can't get uranium on the planet. So what I could do, well, you can't get uranium on the planet mining it. You can get it from ships. That's how I got the uranium and reactor I have, is it came with the ship. So what I could do... Oh, I need to turn those off when I'm here. Turrets will just shoot this.
Ship fuel low.
Uh, but
Ship fuel.
what I could do is essentially try and pirate to get uranium from ships that might have it and use that
Fuel low.
to give me more power. Because yeah, just idle it's not too bad, but when I'm using... Not a curiosity.
Fuel low.
No, I cannot support myself on hydrogen alone here.
Ship fuel low.
So I need the atmospheric thrust if I want to fly. We'll go ahead and lock that just so it's secure. Okay. Time to salvage. I'll use my fun little elevator. Oh, I had a thought for how to do this better, too. What was... So I think the issue, if I'm right...
Full.
Yes, it's that above me here...
Full.
Well, so there's the reactor. Oh, I don't need all of these. So, above me here is a gyro. Which meant... Well, let me get this out of the way. So, this is the elevator. Get in this, tell the piston to take me down. You do slide out the back of it a little bit, which is disconcerting, but that's fine. But I want to make this an airlock so that I can still use this entrance in space. Actually, I guess I can leave it like that direction. So the issue was, I couldn't have an angled piece here leading into the airlock door. I could have just had the angled piece and then another door here, but that means I lose more oxygen every time I open the door. But something I have now that I didn't have before is this open-sided passage block that was added in with the Warfare update. So I'm going to use one of them. I'm curious. No. So I was curious if I could just control middle mouse to withdraw parts for something I had in my hand. Doesn't seem to work. There's probably a way, but I don't know it. So we'll take all these. Perfect. And another door will be expensive, but I can at least put it down. Have some more of those. Actually, I may have all I need. Oh, and what am I saying? Yeah, it's a little expensive, but I've got a whole base next door that I can just pull apart if I wish. What do I need? 2 computers. Computers, more glass. There we go. Okay. And the last thing I want to do... Just open that up, since now I can... You know, I can use this as an airlock in space, so I might as well have it accessible. But... Where are... sensors? So, I don't think this will cause too much of a ground clearance issue. Oh, it needs things, though. Let's see what I can take off this base. I don't know if it'll have detector components on this.
Inventory full.
Probably not. But I can use the sensor so that whenever I enter the elevator, essentially get into the elevator's range. Well, that doesn't look great, but that's fine. Uh, Whenever I enter the range of the elevator, it will detect me and lower or raise depending on what is needed. So, that way I don't have to do the awkward going through the control panel because there's no room to put a button. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, look at all these detector components, and I do not have radio components, so that's the thing I would need. But I do have the detector components I need for that. So that's handy. Yeah, give me your radios.
Full.
Perfect. There we go. So, what I can do, and something I like to do when messing with sensors, is I've recently learned how to use them better on a project I did. So, in the info of the ship, you pick Show Sensor Field Range. Then in the sensor, you do, not in terminal, Show on HUD. And now, there's this big old box that turns green when you enter the sensor range and shows you what that sensor range is. So, what I want to do, I want the left, right, front, and back extents to be almost none. Never mind. Oh, because front and back, it would be like as if it's looking from a wall. Yeah. So I want back extent. I want no top extent. So I only want this. And I only want it to go, yeah, like there. So, I can open this up. And when I enter the cab, the sensor will detect me. And if I go ahead and set it up, actually. Piston elevator. Reverse. So with sensors, something that I don't think is really explained anywhere. The first little box, that is what will happen when you enter the sensor's range. Whatever is there gets triggered. The second box is triggered whenever you leave the range. So, depending on what you want to do and when you want it to happen, you can actually kind of control it by that. Say you wanted to have like a mine with a warhead and a sensor. If you want it to blow up as soon as someone enters, you'd put the mine here and it'll just blow up as soon as they're within range. If you want it to be just after they've left, I said this as an example because in my head at the time it had a really clear-cut reason for each, but I don't think I can think of them now. So, yeah, mine here, it'll explode as soon as they leave the range. I guess maybe if you wanted to, like, collapse a tunnel, except that doesn't work here. I don't know. Either way. So now, I enter the elevator box, and down I go. So actually, maybe I will put the cover on, and it should drop all the way down to its prescribed height. Yep, and it doesn't, the sensor hasn't stopped it from being able to get there. Or if it has, it's not stopped it to a degree. Well, I didn't think that part through. Oh, except, haha, the secret hole, which is all actually connected to cargo as well. So that's handy. What did I... Oh, yeah. There we go. So, I can take the elevator down to the ground, and when I'm done, hop back in, it takes me right back up. Now, because I don't want this to actually show forever, turn that off. That's pretty neat. So yeah, and I guess whenever I wish to use this, on down it goes. I forgot it goes down. That is the one downside, is you have to really commit to getting in the elevator, because you can't just pop in and pop back out. I was gonna go back in the ship, but here I am now. But yeah. So that's nice. Now, let's get to salvaging. I'll just start grinding stuff down. Oh yeah, there is as well. If I slip under that jet turbine, so I don't have to use my jetpack for all of it. I can just run backwards and forwards. Hello? I forgot that when you grind through the door, it eventually opens. Oh. I also forgot I hacked that turret, so it's friendly even though it's still moving. Are there any... Oh, I may have to do the chairs as well. We'll see if I can hack the whole place by just hacking this chair. Or control console. Yep. Perfect. So now the whole thing is friendly to me at least. I don't think it's going to be worth trying to sap the power from the battery. Because I don't think it won't really fill up the scrap metal all that much. Oh my god, that was a strange burp I made. It won't fill up the scrap metal that much. That'll make it worth the hassle. Because I'd have to build a whole rig with, connectors. Well, maybe I will. We'll leave it until last. Oh, hello, solar thing. Okay. Oh, that's that asteroid again.
Inventory
Oof.
full.
I'll get a lot of solar panels, which could be handy. I could see if I could rig some more of these up. That, because I mean, solar power isn't super great. It's not, as fast as some of the other forms, but it is something. And right now, basically the scrap metal, I've got very limited uranium. In fact, I have no idea how much uranium I still have. Oh. I've got a lot of uranium. So actually, I'm probably not in horrible shape. Why is... Not R. Ah, it's because the reactor's off. Probably because I wanted to preserve uranium when it was connected to the base. Because otherwise it would probably... All of the uranium would go to trying to recharge the batteries on the base for processing everything. Theoretically. I don't actually know. I'm going to turn it back on, though. Because I'm willing to bet if I was operating solely on battery, my batteries were... Where's my... I had 1 megawatt hour each, so... They're each a third full. I don't know. But that does explain why it was kind of right at the limit of its power. Because I think I did when I initially, oh, I'm out of hydrogen. When I initially set the whole thing up. Transport. I added enough batteries specifically so that I could fly it on just batteries. Not for long necessarily, but I wanted to have that safety that if I did run out of uranium, I'd have something that I could still operate and then just recharge the batteries some other way. So, not stockpile, refill bottles. And take it back. Let's see how much of this I leave in versus cut out. I feel like, honestly, the benefit of cutting things out is I don't have to speak. So, you know, the thing I'm doing now that I could just not do, and then I could leave this out and no one would be the wiser. You just come back to an empty salvage down base and all would be good. I can do that now. An unfortunate thing. So, stop it, you. There we go. So, this ammo, because of the update, which is interesting, I guess the mod's been updated to have the new ammo instead of the just kind of original generic ammo. Because this ammo, unfortunately, is not going to work for the rifle I have. I think I'll be able to process it down and convert it back into another type of ammo, essentially. So it shouldn't be that big of a waste, but it isn't like the olden days where you could come in, get 500 magazines from one of these turrets. I mean, I guess it is if I had the right type of gun, but now there are multiple guns, so... I shall take this toilet for myself. As with this bed. Okay. So, that is now a metal box. Don't want to leave a window. This is now an empty metal box. And I was debating just leaving it, well, I was thinking of just leaving the box here, because it's kind of a hassle and just grind straight through all of it. But if I want to build my bunker, barracks is the word. If I want to build my barracks, I'm going to probably need some steel plate. So I think I may just take this thing to the ground. I may try and rig up a little battery connector. So yeah. I don't know why I decided to tell everyone that, not just do it, but that's what came to mind. That's cinematography. Alright. Okay. I have taken everything and the kitchen sink. Actually, I took the kitchen sink first. But, yeah. Since I've done my absolute darndest to remove every trace of this space that was useful, which is all of it, I think I want to take the 1.8 megawatt hours out of this as well. Actually, I should check. Where are my batteries? So they're recharging. Yeah, so I could fit it in. Will be good. So I'll just use these because I just ground them all out of the floor. And that looks like the right height. But I don't have any of these. Haha! I have learned. Okay. So, if you have nothing in the build planner, when you have something in your hand and you do the middle click to withdraw, it will add it to the build planner and then withdraw. So I can dump everything, pull everything out, and finish it. Okay, I am learning. Maybe I should have watched an actual tutorial instead of just figuring it out, because that actually makes it a little bit easier. I also learned during the process of dumping stuff off with Alt middle mouse, you don't have to do Control middle mouse to pull stuff out. It's just middle mouse. So that's handy as well. Okay. So this will use a bit of power, but oh yeah, with the reactor we've got tons. So let's align ourselves. Longy wise, that should be good. And then we'll just put her back down and park. And do the connection. We may be just a little high. Hopefully... Dang. Okay. Just a little too high to connect. So... excuse me, turret. Let me just... take some of that and... dump all that stuff back in there. We'll put it on one more block and then we'll just hover up to it. Because despite it looking very much incorrect, technically I can support my weight solely on this little arm extending out the side. Let's be easier and cheaper from up here. Oh, and actually, once I'm done, I can just run across the arm. Haha. Like a little mouse scurrying about until I reach... oh, actually. Okay, it's gonna be parkour time here. Oh, nope. I'm now a dead mouse. Has that always been curved? Guess it has. Wild things, that. Okay. So now... we will... engines up. We'll just kind of scoot ourselves into it. And locked. Oh. I don't remember that supply cache. I think that just appeared. Turn off our thrusters. Save some power. Because I'm gonna now be dumping the power out of this. Discharge, and then turn off the reactor. Oh, battery miner is the battery on the miner. And this is the battery I'm on. Set that to recharge. There we go, now they're sucking power. I guess the, when they're on auto, they won't pull more power unless they need it for something. It's real slow. Maybe... okay. Outlandish idea. Except... dang. So I was thinking of digging the battery out from the ground, converting it to a ship, and flying away with it. The only downside with that, I won't be able to land, because to be able to connect to it, I have to be off the ground. So I could do that, but I'd either have to just kind of hover there while I drain it, which is kind of a waste of time, or I'd have to find somewhere where I could lock down near the base. Yeah, we'll just stick with this. Yes, whatever. In fact, looking at the time I've been going, oh, yeah, I think that'll about shake out. So I think, despite not quite doing any of the things I said we were going to do, well, I did some of the things I said we were going to do. I said the last thing, and the one that I said would probably distract me from doing any of the other things. Now I'm okay. I was stuck, now I'm not. So, yeah, I think that's where we're going to call it for today. So, yeah, we're technically closer. The base has probably done a lot of the processing now. So, hopefully next episode... Hello, hole. Hopefully next episode we'll be able to do all of the flying to space and whatnot that I initially planned for the end of this episode. But, oh, I should have saved myself next to the base for a screenshot. But this will be a fine screenshot too. So yeah, I think this is where we'll leave us. So, until next week, thank you for joining and watching, and I will see you all then. Bye-bye!